8 games down, 8 more to go. We're at the midway point of the 2019 NFL season. We learned a lot about a lot of teams and ourselves. But here's the key. The Eagles are in a prime spot to go on a big run in the second half of the season. And it starts with our guys coming back healthy.
We got the Eagles. We got the Sixers. Philly talk.
What's going on, everybody? Philly Mike here. And if you guys are new to this channel, I'm going to need you to hit that subscribe button. I greatly appreciate it. I wanted to take a second before I go into my Eagles-Bears previews and just say, Happy Halloween, guys. I hope you enjoyed your day. I hope you enjoy your night. For those with kids who are going trick-or-treating, enjoy that. Get all the candy. Steal some candy from your kids. It's always good to do that. And double check that candy, guys. And be safe outside. There's a bunch of weirdos out there. You know how it is. The world is crazy today. But like I said, happy Halloween and enjoy your night. Now let's get back to some Eagles and Bears football. So the Philadelphia Eagles finally get a home game. After a rough 3-game road trip, the Eagles come back to play a home game. We got the Chicago Bears coming into the link at 4.5-point underdogs, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. The Philadelphia Eagles are coming off a big win against the Buffalo Bills, and the thing I noticed about this is the Chicago Bears and the Buffalo Bills are very similar, and I believe we can use the same formula that we beat the Buffalo Bills with against the Chicago Bears, except for one key ingredient, but I'll get into that. They're similar in the fact that they both want to minimize their quarterback from doing too much. They also want to run the football and play defense. So I believe we can use the same formula to kind of get what we need to get against the Chicago Bears. I do want to say that Chicago Bears are a desperate team right now. Desperate in the fact that they lost 3 in a row. And you know teams that lose 3 in a row, when they're desperate, that's when they're at their most scariest sometimes, because they're not afraid to pull all the tricks out of the bag. All the tricks. These are the teams that go for it on 4th down. These are the teams that fake field goal. These are the teams that fake punt and just are trying to get momentum for their football team. So that is the spot that I need the Eagles to pay attention to and be aware of. But let's get into some stats. So as you see here, let me move over. As you see here, the Chicago Bears score on offense, they average 18.3 points a game. That ranks 27th in the NFL. Total offense, they average 281.4. That ranks 29th in the NFL. Just in the passing game, they average 198.3. That also ranks 29th, and it's not good. It's not good. Via the rush, they average 83.1, which is 26. So as you see, their offense is stagnant, pedestrian. I mean, it's just not good. It's just not good. In all major categories, they're ranked 29th, 29th, and 26th. They're in the bottom half of the NFL on offense, and that's why they sit at 3 and 4. The way they win games is their defense, where they only allow 17.4 points per game. That ranks 6th in the NFL. Total offense allowed against their defense is 316.6, which ranks 7th in the NFL. Total passing yards allowed against their team is 230.6. That ranks 10th. And rushing, they allow 86 yards on the ground, which ranks 6th. So where their defense is in the bottom half, when their offense is in the bottom half, their defense is in the top half, ranking 7th, 10th, and 6th in all major categories in defense. But I do believe we can have them. I do believe we can get what we want against the Chicago Bears, being at home, coming off a big win. It all starts with pounding the rock. With the Philadelphia Eagles being 4 and 4, and the Chicago Bears being 3 and 4, this is a crucial game for both teams. And the fact that I already said it's being the midway point, and this is the turnaround for one of these two organizations. And I believe the Philadelphia Eagles are going to get the job done. This is what we're going to do. At home, at the link, we're going to get the job done. Let's go into some offense. That key ingredient that I was talking about is DeSan Jackson. DeSan Jackson. Now, we don't know how healthy he is. We don't know if he's 60%, 70%, close to 100%. But let me just say this. The mere presence of DeSan Jackson on the field is automatically going to do wonders for our offense. And let me tell you why. What we like to do with DeSan Jackson is, yes, he stays on the outside and he goes deep on the outside. But when he goes deep on the inside, when he goes vertical in the seam, nowadays offenses love to do that with a person who you have to account for, because it shows your defense. When a guy goes up vertical, you either roll coverage over there or someone goes back, and it shows what defenses you're in. It's going to be making it much easier for Carson Wentz to read this defense and dissect it. And plus, once DeSan Jackson goes deep, the middle of the field is going to be wide open compared to what it's been over these last couple weeks. People like Zach Ertz, who's been getting double teamed and not getting production, it's not going to happen no more. People like Alshon Jeffrey, who gets coverage rolled over to, it's not going to happen no more. And even a guy like Nelson Aguilar, who loves to take slants in the middle, it's going to be open. Zach Ertz, Nelson Aguilar, and Alshon Jeffrey's production is automatically going to rise because defense have to respect our deep ball, have to game plan for it, and ain't going to be stacked in the box and clogging up the middle. They're not. But I want to start, even though that's the key ingredient, I don't want to get so pass happy. The Eagles have, for the last couple years, has been a run-first team. When we run the ball, we win games, as you saw against Buffalo. Yes, there was 40-mile-per-hour winds, which was good, for the simple fact it made us run and it made us open our eyes. Well, we all knew, but it made Doug Peterson say, wow, I can run the ball. Just stay patient and run the ball. Plus, you got the narrative that Jordan Howard has a revenge game. If any game he's going to run harder than ever, with more motivation, this is the game. This team traded him away for David Montgomery and Tariq Cohen. It's time for him to get revenge. I do like the mix-up of Miles Sanders and Jordan Howard, but I like how Jordan Howard carried the ball over 20 times last week. People think when you run the ball that you're automatically saying, wow, Carson Wentz can just be a game manager. No, look at Russell Wilson. Chris Carson runs the ball so many times. Pete Carroll likes to run the ball, but when the ball is in Russ's hands, he does Russ-type things and make things happen. That's what we want Carson Wentz to be. We want to run the ball, establish a run, but when we do play action, when we decide to throw, do that Carson Wentz magic, which I know he got in him, and we all know. He's about to start being spectacular the second half of the season. The run game is going to work, and it's all going to be all going to be easier with DeSan Jackson in the lineup. Now, I'm not saying he can't go out and do what he did in the Washington game and catch, 7 passes for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. But he can come out and have a 2 or 3 catch game for 30 to 40 yards, and we're going to look so much better. Because I guarantee you, if that is his stat line, we're running the ball great. Or Zach Ertz got a 6 for 109, or Alshon Jeffrey got a 7 for 97, something along them lines. So I want to start with the run game like we did against the Buffalo Bills. Mix in play action. I like that we did a lot of wide receiver screens and runner back screens. I like the screen game that we did. We need to do that. The Eagles always been a screen game type team. With that being said, hit him with some screenplays, run the ball effectively, play action, and get everybody involved. Let Carson Wentz only throw the ball between 25 and 30 times, and they're going to be, instead of having 45 pass attempts and a lot of, bad ones and ones that are in double coverage, we're only going to throw the ball 30 times, but these 30 passes are going to be efficient passes. It's not going to be a volume. It's going to be little passes, but efficient passes. I'm expecting Zach Ertz to actually have a huge game this game against the Chicago Bears, with them trying to roll coverage and prepare for long time coming of DeSan Jackson's coming back. Now, on the defensive side, I want to talk about we still going to be missing a couple guys. Soon, after the bye week, we'll have guys like LeBlanc, Maddox, Nigel Bradham. They'll all be back. But right now, we got to play one more game without them. I think we can get away with it. The simple fact that the same way we treated Josh Allen, we got to treat Trubisky. Trubisky will run the ball if we take his eyes off him. They're probably going to do some design runs, but what they really want to do is come out and run the ball with David Montgomery. Last week against the Chargers, they ran the ball very well. Even though they're not that good in rushing throughout the year, they ran the ball effectively last week. They were pulling double teams. They were running inside zones. They were running out the shotgun. And Montgomery's pretty fast for a bigger guy. The Eagles do commit to stopping the run, so I believe we can stop the run and make them one-dimensional. That's really what you want to do to every team, is make them one-dimensional. But you really want to do that to teams with a quarterback like Josh Allen, with a quarterback like Mitchell Trubisky. So we got to make them one-dimensional and then pin our ears back and get at them. I like how Brandon Graham and Fletcher Cox played against the Buffalo Bills on the inside with Derek Barnett and Josh Sweat on the outsides. Then that combined four on our front four, we were able to get pressure without sending the house. And I've seen the Eagles do something that they don't normally do. We normally play a lot of cover 3. This game, we played a lot of cover 1 man. We played man along the side and played cover 1. Now, I think Jim Schwartz is feeling a little bit more confident in man because it's not Cindy Jones and Rasul Douglas out there. It's, again, guys, I'm not saying Ronald Darby and Mills is way better. I mean, really good, but they're better than them two. So when we have Darby, Mills, McLeod, and Jenkins, we're playing this game. We played a lot of cover 1, and it worked. We played cover 1, we played man, and we let our front four go to work. And that recipe was good. Now, yes, there was 40-mile-per-hour winds. That played a part. But I believe if we can get pressure with our front four, which I think we do, we're still going to send a blitz once in a while. But get pressure with our front four and play that cover 1 until they beat it. We'll mix in some zones because you can't play the same coverage all the time. But I like how they kept going back to cover 1 in crucial downs, especially on third downs. Cover 1, we were able to lock up for enough time that our D-line got to the quarterback. We had 4 sacks in that game. 4 sacks and a forced fumble. So I like the cover 1. I want to see that more. And I believe Darby and Mills are going to be able to hold their coverage up because of the pass rush. Now, Mitchell Trubisky is struggling, but they do got good receivers. Taylor Gabriel is a speedster. Anthony, I don't know if it's Andrew or Anthony Miller, he's a pretty good receiver, especially at a third option. And Allen Robinson is a big body, go up and get the kind of ball receiver, like an Alshon, but he also does a lot. He can play in the slot and the outside. So the receiving core is good. We just got to put pressure on Trubisky. We're going to win the game by making Trubisky beat us. And like I said, making it one-dimensional, taking that run game away from them that they just started establishing last week. But at the end of the day, the Philadelphia Eagles are going to start playing that Philadelphia Eagles football. And so I'm not worried. I feel like we can beat the Chicago Bears with no problem if we just keep that formula we did in Buffalo. For other teams, we're going to have to change it up a little bit, but we have a bye week after this. So we get this W to get to 5-4, go into the bye week, and get healthy. Get healthy on the defense. And then the sky's the limit. But now let's get to the predictions. I got the Philadelphia Eagles coming home for their first home game in 3 weeks and playing with fire, playing with passion in front of this crowd to go into bye week 5-4 with a W, beating the Chicago Bears 34-20. Whoa, you're saying against the Chicago Bears defense, they're going to score 34? Yes. And DeSan Jackson's presence is going to be why, but he's not going to be the reason why. I think Zach Ertz is going to have a huge game because of the attention to the run game, because of the attention to DeSan Jackson. Zach Ertz is going to have a great game, and I got the score being 34-20. So that's all, guys. Like I said, have a happy Halloween. Enjoy your night. Like this video, share this video, subscribe if you haven't, and I'm out. We out.